Hey Vita fans, welcome to another edition of the Vitality Weekly News Update. I'm Kyle from the Vita Lounge, and I'm here to run down the most important Vita updates of the week. Are you ready to get caught up? Let's run them down. First up, we already knew that Spike Chunsoft's upcoming Mystery Chronicle One-Way Heroics was coming to Western Shores, but this week we learned something awesome about its trip west. It'll be coming physically via the fine folks over at Limited Run Games. Releasing this September in a 5,000 copy limited run, the latest title in the Mystery Dungeon series centers around a kingdom being swallowed by a destructive wall of light. You have to keep on your toes and move forward in the procedurally generated world, as the roguelike nature of the game will punish you if you stray too far. Though you'll lose your progress if you fall, you'll be able to save any gear you collected via the Dream Vault. Sound interesting? Look for a more specific order date very soon. Nihon Falcom has released a free version of Ys 8 on the Japanese PSN, and it's ready to get you hooked. Clocking in at an 885 megabyte download, this new Lacrimosa of Dana demo serves a dual purpose. It's there both to introduce you to the game and to get you started with save data able to be transferred to the full game. As such, it'll give you access to the beginning of Adol's journey on Siren Island, but likely not much more. If you have a Japanese account, you can grab it from the Japanese web store right now, the link available in the description of the video if you're interested. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana is available now in Japan in physical, digital, and now demo versions. Good news, ecchi dungeon crawler fans! Demon Gaze 2 is launching in Japan sooner than expected, with Kadokawa Games moving the experience-developed dungeon crawler's release from October 13th up a few weeks. You can now expect to see the game released 2 weeks earlier on September 29th, which is just over a month from now. Sweet deal! Now if only they'd announce a localization. Blue Reflection, Sword of the Girl That Dances in Illusions, has been announced for Japanese release by Gust, with details on the story, main character, and more coming along as well. Have I got your attention? Because this one might be interesting. First up are new details on the story, with Blue Reflection outed as a game which has girls growing through the power of heartfelt interaction. The game mirrors the ordinary and extraordinary bits of youth, using the interaction between characters as its core theme. Speaking of characters, we've now been introduced to a few, the first of which happens to be the protagonist, Hinako Shirai. Hinako is a young girl who set herself apart through her talents as a ballet dancer, but ultimately lost her ability to compete after a foot injury in a major competition. Unable to dance, she seals her heart, believing that one day her foot will heal and she'll be able to dance once again. Days pass, and one day Hinako encounters a pair of girls who grant her a mysterious power, the ability to transform into a reflector. Armed with the newfound ability to fight, she's driven by the idea that if she continues on, her foot might heal. What a selfish girl. Before long, however, she begins to wonder why she's fighting and who she's fighting. She ponders the meaning of it all, and that's when a fight finds her, one that could change the whole world. Armed with her newfound reflector ability, she turns herself into a supercharged blonde with heterochromia, that's 2 different colored eyes, and takes on all comers with a see-through sword. But will that be enough? In addition to Hinako, we've been also introduced to Yutsuki and Ryume Tsukasaki. That's the 2 sisters who grant Hinako her newfound power, and we've also been introduced to the idea that a number of students will also appear as your classmates. As stated earlier, deepening bonds is a core theme of the game, so expect a lot of people to interact with. Blue Reflection, Sword of the Girl That Dances in Illusions is due in Japan at an as of yet unannounced date, with the latest update noting the game was around 30% complete. Bad news, guys. Starting just under a month from now, on September 22nd, PlayStation Plus's Classic Year subscription option will be jumping in North America from $49.99 US dollars and Canadian dollars to $59.99 in the US and $69.99 in Canada, with the Canadian monthly subscription also jumping from $9.99 to $11.99. According to the source of this information, a stealthy update posted on this month's Plus announcement after the fact, The PlayStation Plus price hike is due to, quote, market conditions, end quote, and their goal of, quote, providing exceptional value to our members, end quote. On that note, we'd like to note that as of late, the quality of PlayStation Plus benefits happen to be trending downward in a serious manner. So what are we really paying for? More money for less quality? Doesn't sound like a plus to me. Then again, they've got you hooked with all those PlayStation Plus titles you've tagged, so I suppose they're pretty confident you'll cough up the cash. What a bunch of suckers we are, huh? Moving on to better news, Idea Factory International has gotten in touch to announce the North American and European release dates for their upcoming Neptunia spin-off. According to the press release, it looks like Super Dimension Neptune vs. Sega Hard Girls is coming to North America on October 18th and Europe on October 21st, hitting both regions in digital and physical formats as well as bearing PlayStation TV compatibility. Well, kicking on, Gust is set to bring a sequel to Your Nonai Kuni, aka Knights of Ezer in the English-speaking world, to PlayStation Vita with a Japanese release date set for before the end of the year. Interested? Well, the story starts like this. A knight of the Curia and personal guard to the Saint Liliana, Alush watches over her childhood friend, eventually guiding her to the Curia and fulfilling her knightly duty. Once there, however, the two learn that as Bride of Time, Liliana must give her life in sacrifice to the goddess of the moon. A shocked and saddened Alush dies soon after in a battle against a powerful demon, but is resurrected at the hands of the Curia. Newly half-demon and filled with an immense strength, Alush now has the power to take on all comers. As for the gameplay, it'll have you fighting together with your Lily partner, creating a bond and gaining access to new abilities and intimate moments. Who you choose as your Lily is up to you, but it seems that familiar characters may be possibilities. Carrying over gameplay like Servants, as well as the tone of the original, Knights of Ezer 2 Bride of the New Moon will have a considerably different feel to it. It's currently set to hit Japan on December 22nd, priced at 7,884 yen for the standard edition, 11,124 yen for the premium box, and 17,604 yen for the special collection box. After first being delayed till mid-late September, it seems that Mystery Adventure 2064 Read-Only Memories has actually hit a much bigger hurdle than originally thought, the title being delayed indefinitely on PlayStation Vita. Maybe they'll figure it out by the titular date, maybe not. Looking at the follow-up tweets from the official Twitter, it looks like the Vita version is the worst off of them all. NIS America has announced that you'll be able to get your hands on The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 on November 11th in Europe, the European release following the recently announced North American release date, September 6th, by over 2 months. What's holding them back? I haven't the foggiest, but 2 months is a bit of a wait. I'd bet they're going to lose some sales to importers by taking the late route, wouldn't you? Back to the realm of good news. Ooh, here we go. Valkyria Ezer Revolution is officially headed to PlayStation Vita and will be releasing day and date with the PlayStation 4 version of the game on January 19th. The Vita version of the game is set to be priced at 6,990 yen, with first print copies netting the buyer a promo code for a fully voiced prequel called Judgment Chapter Vannergand Formation. Additionally, it's been revealed that registering on the game's official website will net you another fully voiced bonus story on the game's release day. Wait, are you perhaps unfamiliar with the title? Well, let's fix that. Valkyria Ezer Revolution is a separate offshoot of the Valkyria series and isn't considered part of the story's core storyline. It's a real-time strategic RPG with permanent death included in the mix, meaning characters who die during the course of the story will not be returning. As for the story itself, it goes something like this. You're Amleth, the commanding officer of Jetland's elite anti-Valkyria unit, tasked personally with taking on a class of beings that are much closer to gods than humans. After your country is economically blockaded by the expanding empire of Rus, it's decided that you will strike the base of the Rus Empire's army. What follows next is up to you. Valkyria Ezer Revolution is headed to PlayStation Vita January 19th, 2017 in Japan. Joshua Spinell, creative director for Hailstorm Games, has taken to the PlayStation blog this week to announce a brand new horror game that's not wasting any time getting itself into your hands. Claire Extended Cut is headed to PlayStation Vita and PS4 on August 30th, meaning you only have to wait to the next PlayStation Store update to grab it. As for what Claire Extended Cut has to offer, it follows a teenage girl, the titular Claire, as she struggles to make her way through high school amidst constant nightmares and dreamscapes. Dropping out of high school and trying to take care of her ill mother, it all becomes too much, and she snaps. The past, the present, and something not quite identifiable run together, and Claire shifts between perspectives, reliving moments in a seamless stream of altered consciousness. But Claire's not alone. Accompanied by Wandering Canine and a few people in need of help, it's up to the player to put the pieces together and guide whomever you can back to reality. If you can, that is. Overhauled with a false depth and 3D objects to create a 2.5D result, Claire Extended Cut is headed to PlayStation Vita August 30th and will be cross-buy with PlayStation 4. Alright, we did it. That's all for the news recap this week, which means it's time for a rundown of newly released trailers, the following titles having either a new trailer or new footage released since I last sent some Vitality your way. Criminal Girls 2, Party Favors, Demon Gaze 2, Fate Extella the Umbral Star, Idle Death Game TV, Macross Delta Scramble, My Q Labyrinth of Death, My Teen Romantic Comedy Stafu, Neo Atlas 1469, SD Gundam G Generation Genesis, Sengoku Otome Legend Battle, The Princess is Money Hungry, Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Day Big Special Gigs World Tour, Utawari Rumono The Two Hakuoros, Valkyria Ezer Revolution, and World of Final Fantasy. So those are the standout happenings from the last 7 days. Make sure to check back here around this time next week for another new update of Vitality. Hit up the Vita Lounge for all the full stories and the bits I didn't cover, and of course, have a great week of Vita gaming.